If you're a crafter, then you know that organization is one of the hardest things to have. But today I'm going to share with you exactly how I organize my small craft space. So whether you have a small craft room, a large craft room, I'm going to give you lots of tips, tricks, and ideas so that you can apply them to your own space. Hello and welcome. This is a little bit of Common Crazy. As many of the items that I show you today that I can link, I'll make sure to do so in the description box. If I can't link it because some of these things I have had for years, I will make sure that I give you some suggestions. However, with all that said, this is not a video for you to go and purchase the things that I'm talking about. It's really just to give you some inspiration so that you can clear your craft clutter, organize it so that you are better able to be free to create. So let's get going. When you start walking straight into my room, the very first thing you're actually going to see is that it is my bedroom on one side and my craft area is just on the other side. So I have a pretty small craft area and have to be very specific about the things that I use in order to store things and organize things. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So let me bring you over here, and this is where we're going to start, and I will explain everything that we have going on. So the door is right here, and then this wall right here is where I actually record my intros, or most of my intros that you have seen lately. I love this table. It actually belonged to my husband's mother's family. Like, it was her childhood kitchen table. And I don't know if you can see these hinges, but the sides actually open up. So you can raise them up and put a bar, pull the bar out, and it'll stay up. So because it's so narrow here, but you can get all this much more room, it is such a great table. I love to use this for like my sewing and things like that. Another great feature of this table is it actually has a couple of drawers, and then this actually opens up into a cabinet. So this is my entire like sewing table. I actually have sewing supplies in my drawers, and then I will bring my sewing machine over if I'm using it, when I'm using it, that kind of a thing. A piece like this could be found like at a thrift store or Facebook marketplace, but would definitely be a great piece to have in a smaller crafting space. Looking at tables that can extend, here's another one. I actually got this from a friend. She gave this to me, and it's not as much of an extension, but that little bit can help, and it does that on both sides. And here is my laser cutter. And then underneath the laser cutter is where I keep, this is for, it's like the smoke purifier, so it helps so it's not so smoky when I'm using the laser cutter. My sewing machine, as well as some sewing accessories right there. I love having things out and easy to access. If it's not easy for me to get to it, I'm not going to use it. That's why I like having a space to put this. So here is my desk, and I absolutely love this desk. I got it at Costco several years ago. It was on sale. Now you cannot find this, but there are other options that I would say are pretty similar. I know that both Whitney from Whiskey and Wit and Shannon from the Daily DIYer have a desk that they got at IKEA that I think is really good because it's a desk with some storage. What I like even better is that Courtney over on Creative on the Cheap just shared the idea of purchasing a couple of cubbies and doing a tabletop on top of it. I love that because I feel like then you can customize it to the size that you want even better. And again, I will find some ideas and link them for you if you're looking for something similar to this. But this desk is fantastic because I have this opening that goes all the way through, and right here you see my CRICUT cart. So this is all things CRICUT. So I can just pull this cart right on out, and then this is my Explorer right here. I can just pop it right up here and use it as I need it. And then all the supplies that I need that also go with the CRICUT. So I have my heat press right here, mug press, and then down here is my Joy, and then some tools. Actually, so back here, I actually took some, these are pant hangers that have been cut off, and that is how I'm holding my mats. I love this because then everything is all together in one place, and it just helps it stay nice and organized. And when I'm done with it all, I can again take my cart, slide it under, and I'm not wasting any floor space. So not only can I use this underneath part to help store, this desk has some shelving on both sides of it. So when you come around here, you can see that I'm able to store stuff on the side of here. I love these containers from the Dollar Tree. This color is one of my favorites. So I just have some like headphones, mics, things like that. My photo printer, my sublimation printer, laminator, things I like to get to easily. I have just on this side. And then I'm going to come in this way because it's easier for me to show you. But here is the opposite side. Again, just some different items that I like to get to regularly. More of these Dollar Tree containers. These are also from Dollar Tree. And I love this color. I just keep like Velcro in one, cords in the other. Just a nice way to keep things tidy. And these are items that I need, but maybe don't need quite as often. And I can reach them from this side. It's just harder for me to like show you how easy it is to get to. And this is honestly the way that I come and grab them, which is why they're all the way on the edge over here. So when you move around to the back side of the desk, over here, you'll see that this desk actually has even more storage. And that is why I love the idea that you can customize your own desk by using cubbies and a tabletop, because then you can really optimize and make sure that you have plenty of storage for your personal needs, because every square foot in a small space matters. So this is actually where I store most of my vinyl, my iron-on over here. And then on that side is like my smart CRICUT vinyl. Now, something that I do like to do to also help is if I have a roll that is open, I learned this from Whitney at Whiskey and Wit, I use a slat bracelet to keep it all together. I have tried rubber bands in the past, but they get bad after a while. And so this is just a quick and easy way to do it. And it's actually faster than putting a rubber band on. Here's what it looks like underneath the desk. Again, you can see the back side of the CRICUT cart there. And I utilize all of my spaces. So no matter what space I have, I use every last bit of it. So just a roll of butcher paper I use for various things. This is more just because I record and film, so lighting, tripods, things like that. But it would be a great place to hold items that if you use something often, maybe you're in the middle of a project, that could be something else that could be underneath your desk or something like that. But what I really want to show you is one of my main things I use all of the time would be command hooks and command strips. So this actually is the remote to my puck lights. I'll show you those in just a minute, but I don't want to lose that remote. And so that just makes it super easy, a place to keep it. Here is where I hang like stencils for whatever season I'm working on. And then you can see that I had these rings again on another command hook. So this is brand new to my craft room, and I am so glad to have it because it has helped me wrangle in all of my cords. So I have 2 USBs, 2 USB-Cs, and then like 3 Atlas. This also does come in white. So if you have like a lighter desk, then you can choose the white option instead, but I can plug in my computer, heat gun, anything that I am using on my desk, and I don't want to have the cords like all over the floor. This is a great way to do it. Now, you do want to make sure that you have a way that you can secure it. So this is the bracket with the knob, and I've done that on the side here, but you can also do this on top of your desk as well. So this is just a really good option if you're like me and you don't want to have cords everywhere. If you are anything like me and you like to sit and stand when you're working on things, just kind of depending on what you're working on, getting a desk like this that is counter height, I think that you will find to be super helpful. So I love that I can sit and stand here. So with this adjustable stool, I can adjust it wherever I want. I have it actually so I can sit easily, work on anything that I need to work on, but then slide it under and then stand and work on projects. And a lot of times when I'm working on a project, I do like to stand because it makes it super easy to come back here, reach, grab whatever I need, come back, work on the project again. Absolutely makes it so much easier. So if you are in the market for a new desk, check out the height and see if that will allow you the flexibility to do that. And I think that you would be super happy with that option. Moving around to the other side of the desk, you're going to see that I have even more items hanging on some command hooks. So I like to keep plastic bags nearby for garbage or to wrap a paintbrush in if it still has paint on it and I'm coming back to paint something later. These are little cloths that I use when I'm wiping stain or paint, things like that. My little desktop vacuum, a little broom in case it's messier. In the area between my desk and a window, I keep this little bin. This is for all the dirty silicone mats and like washcloths. Once it's full, I just toss them in the washing machine, get them clean. This is for anything that I sand. I like to have like the wood blocks for stapling and things like that. I keep sandpaper in here, but this is so I don't have like a sandy mess everywhere. I like to have a container just for that. And then of course, you need a trash can. As for these cubbies, I picked these up at Costco, and if you can't tell, there are actually 2 stacked on top of each other. Now they came with a totally different little bin to put inside, but I replaced it because I love that these were 13 by 13 by 13. So it fills the entire cubby. Now that works for my cubby. If you have different cubbies, just measure them. But I love that you cannot see through. I know it's here and I can see it once I pull it out, but visually it helps to keep it a lot cleaner. Now, I did not do that with these up here. I specifically went for shorter ones. So these are 13 by 16 by 8, both the basket and these top bends. Now, I specifically wanted the baskets to kind of break up that cloth look. So that is more of an aesthetics thing. It's not necessary, but I really do like that these are super sturdy, and I think they're better for the things that I have that are heavier as well. But it's really easy for me to know I have heat tools, like paint markers, and paint brushes, DIY paint, adhesives, glues, things like that in here. I have spray paint in both of my ends. So my neutrals are down here. My colors are right here. And this one, I have all of my like acrylic paint and my smaller bottles. And then wood pieces that I like to grab often. And I actually put all of those into baggies just to keep them nice and tidy. Now these bags make a really great way to organize. I have all the wood pieces that I tend to grab regularly. So these are like half beads, the tumbling tower pieces that you can get at Dollar Tree. Then you have some more of a larger bead here. And then these are like the Dollar Tree beads that come on a string. And then right back here, can you see that? Some Scrabble pieces. So things that I like to grab and like to have nice and handy. I definitely have some more wood, but this is what I use the most often. Just for kicks, I absolutely love having these puck lights. I get it. They're not necessary, but they are so much fun. Using the remote makes them easy, but something else is that you can change them to all of these different colors. So if you're just looking for a fun little something to have in your room, these definitely add just that. Just something fun, not necessary, but you know, I like having things that have a little bit of whimsy. Again, I have a few more items that I like to use and have access to. So this is my Cricut maker. I have some rope in here. Right here would be my extra blades for my rotary cutter, twine, beads, staples for my Surebonder trigger fire. It has different sizes that it uses. And so if I haven't finished a size, I like to hold on to the ones that I take out and then use them up as needed. Having a place that you can organize is great, but you also want to make sure that you customize it with things that just bring you joy and make you happy. I love all of these items that I'm showing you right now. A lot of them were gifts given to me by friends, and they spark some of that creativity for me because of the people that I see and the times that I remember. So don't forget that the personal touches are just as important as the organization. Here's another use of a hook. This time it's a larger hook because I am holding 3 different aprons on here. I love these aprons. They just go right over your shoulders. This one ties, this one just goes around your shoulders and wraps around the back. Different options, but I am such a messy painter. I need an apron, and that just gives me a really good way to hang it without taking up much space. These are actually the very first thing I ever got when I started doing crafting. I actually did paper crafting. And I got these at Michael's, and they were so useful for all that. Now, a lot of it is still paper, but some business items that I need personally. And then I like having drawers so that I can stick certain things in there and kind of tuck them and hide them away in a smaller space. They're not as big as like the cubbies. So it's a nice alternative. I store things every way that I can. And if I can store it in a way that I think is also kind of pleasing to the eye, I will do that. So this I actually got thrifted several years ago, but originally came from Target. It's like a hearth and hand piece, but I love these individual little departments in here, compartments, whatever the word is. I believe it was probably more for serving things, but it works so well to hold things that I like to get access to quickly. And then this little flower holder from Dollar Tree is perfect for some taller items like my rulers and my clamps. And I'm sure that you noticed that I have my Cricut mats over here, again, using command hooks to keep them. So those were my shorter ones. Here's my taller ones. And then when you move over, down here on the floor, I have all of my cutting mats. I use every last inch of space that I have. I do not let any space go to waste. That includes using my wall space, and that made a perfect little place for me to put a shelf to hold all my paint and even some decor that I showed you earlier. Now I do have to grab a stool in order to reach these, but I'm easily able to see what colors I have, if I need to add any colors to it. So I really like this option, and this is definitely part of the room I would not use otherwise. And now it is not going to waste. Now, this is one of those pieces that I just think is so great to have because it rotates, so I'm able to easily access all the things in it. And these definitely are items that I grab all of the time. I got this at Michael's. You probably can find something similar on Amazon. If we move over from my craft room and we pan over to the main part of my room, I do have some more storage over here in this corner. So here you can see that I have 3 more of those cubbies, again from Costco. They come out every single year and normally they drop the price at one point. And so I love them. These are the original bins that come in these cubbies and I think they work great. Let me take you a little bit closer and tell you and show you a little bit more about what I have done in these to help me stay organized. So instead of sticking a paper inside of each one of these windows, I just took a Sharpie and wrote directly on them. And if for some reason I decide to change them, all I have to do is take rubbing alcohol, it'll wipe right off, and then I can just Sharpie again whatever is inside of these. So in here you can see I have some extra paint supplies, X-Tool blanks, CRICUT blanks. A lot of this down here is like Dollar Tree. I have some Dollar Tree wood pieces in here. Here are some smaller ones that I have, again, used those bags for. I love that because it helps keep them all contained and organized. And then look at this. I love Dollar Tree frames. I use them all the time. Always have a few on hand, no matter what. So this is how I have some overflow and I make it work and I don't feel quite so cluttered all on the other side. This is also where I store my ribbon, and let me share with you how I do that. So I have 4 of these, 2 in each of the containers with ribbon, and I divide it based on colors. So these are more of like brown, orange, yellow, and then I have black and white underneath here. And then like my rope and jute, more of the like cream colors right here. And then this one is more pinks, reds, blues, and purples. Again, I have more of the lighter twine and rope, and then as well as some raffia all in here. And that is how I keep all of my ribbons. So I know exactly what I have and I can find it every time. I feel like I need to do a caveat and let you know, I don't keep any of my holiday stuff in here because I don't have room for it. I keep it in bins in a totally different place. What I do keep in here though is the holiday stuff that I'm currently working on. That's what these projects would be. So a little bit more seasonal. So I do give myself a little bit of room for that, but overall, somewhere completely different. So I don't have to worry about trying to cram it into this tight space. And this is just a few minutes after, already pile starting because I am back to crafting, and this is just what happens. I never have it perfectly clean at any time because I am always working, creating, and doing things. I just try my best, and that's all you can do is try your best, get as organized as you can so that you can hopefully not have quite the chaos and you can do what you need to and have fun creating, not cleaning. I hope you found some inspiration today. Do you have a must-have item in order to help you stay organized? Let me know that in the comments below. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.